Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Small Business Sunday interview. Today we are here with Jack Burdick. He owns the scooters in Belton and in Raymore. So he's kind of killing the game out here in our little hometown. So we're kind of going to talk to him a little bit, see what got him into the scooters business. I mean, have you had their coffee? I will say it's pretty good. I do like their coffee. But Jack, go ahead and start us off. Tell us a little bit about you. What got you here? What made you want to own a business? And what made you want to own scooters?
Well, I live in this community, and my dream throughout my entire career, I worked for corporate America for about 35 years in a great company. But since I was about 18, I've always wanted to own my own business.
Yeah.
And so once I retired, I decided to take that big chance and took all of my retirement, literally everything, and put it into opening a business. And I've always wanted to have a business in my community that I could feel great about, bring something special.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I believe that we do. We are very, very passionate about service, because that's one of the things I think is lacking in so many places today is great service and that great smile when you come and says, we're glad you're here.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, that's definitely missing. Not here. I will tell you that, not here. But you go sit down in a restaurant nowadays and you're lucky to get a server that's happy to see you.
It is very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I believe there's a crisis of service today in the country, and I'm not sure what all the factors are driving that. But I've always been passionate about serving people. I've kind of found throughout my life that the greatest pleasure that I get is out of serving others. And that's what we're doing here at Scooters Coffee, is we're serving our community.
So what got you into the scooters business?
Well, once I decided to pull the trigger and go, which was a huge decision.
Mm-hmm.
I could be just retired doing nothing right now, but I just had to fulfill my dream. And Sandy and I talked about it, and we decided, all right, we're going to go for it. So I did a lot of research. I traveled to the International Franchise Show in New York. We looked at literally hundreds of businesses to get into. Mm-hmm. I kind of decided early on, because I'm retired, that it would not be smart for me to start from the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to get into an organization that had all that structure in place, which is what a franchise will do for you. So we worked on it for about 6 months, looked at a lot of different businesses. I fell in love with coffee. And then once I went down and talked to the folks at Scooters, that cinched it. Scooters isn't a corporation. They're a privately owned business. Every Scooters is owned by an individual like me.
Mm-hmm.
And their message just struck me. Their message of commitment and compassion and love for customers and community. It rang with me instantly, their commitment to service.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I kind of met with them, that's all it took. And we signed up with Scooters. And I live in this community, so I know that it's something that we needed to have out here. I knew we would be successful. I felt confident that we would be.
Mm-hmm.
And we certainly were. This community has been exceptional to us.
Well, and you were one of the very first coffee shops. I mean, besides a few wonderful individually owned, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for a brand name, we have had to drive Leet Summit, Overland Park, to get some more of that brand name coffee. So you guys really brought that into Belton and Raymore. We were missing that. We don't really get much out here.
Well, that's what happens when you live here.
Mm-hmm.
We know the community, we know the people, we know the services that we feel are missing.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes a big difference when you're local and you can kind of understand the dynamics. It made it more comfortable for me to make that investment as well.
Yeah, because you knew what you were bringing. And like you said, your community. And that's really hard as a business owner, especially someone who doesn't open up or practice within their own community. They don't really know. So a lot of them can't thrive that way because they don't know who they're going to.
Exactly. So, they big corporations, they look at a giant map and they look at the demographics and they say, okay, where's there's a hole? And they plug a dart there. But there's no connection with the people in the community. Mm-hmm. I live here. My reputation is here, and I take it very seriously.
Yeah, and I think that's very important. It shows.
The type of business I want to have.
Mm-hmm. So you started in Raymore. What got you to the point of where you knew that you were ready to open that second location in Belton?
It's again, these are scary commitments because of the cost of doing this type of business today. But I was raised here. I grew up and went to high school in Belton.
Okay.
So I have this kind of affinity for Belton, particularly Old Town.
Yeah.
And now we live in Raymore. We've lived in Raymore about 20 years now. And I would drive through Belton all the time, and I just kind of noticed there's this little spot there that's been empty for as long as I've been at Belton.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we could probably squeeze on that spot. And from there, it was just a matter of the ball started rolling.
Yeah.
And we talked about it, and a lot of thinking went into it. But I felt confident that the people of Old Town would support us. And their support over there has been wonderful as well.
They're pretty much always busy. Anytime I drive by in the morning or even in the afternoon, I'll come home from work and there's still cards in the drive-thru. That's
because of folks like my manager, Shai, and my baristas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't bring the people into this business. They do. And we work very hard at creating the kind of culture that I want to have, and that is one of service.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's simply why we are successful, is that we're committed and passionate about service. We're in our communities. I'm at these stores every day.
Yeah. You show your passion, and you show what you want to provide.
A lot of people talk the words. I will simply say we live it.
Mm-hmm.
Every day, our culture inside, people understand that our passion is serving people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't like to do that, then you're in the wrong place.
And it will show. Absolutely, it will show. Just like going into a restaurant, you can tell your server doesn't want you there.
Yep.
And it doesn't make you want to feel welcome, and you don't go back. So, you guys I know for a fact you have continuous customers, regulars on a daily basis, and they continue to come back because of who you are, who your manager is, who your people are, who's smiling at them through the window. And that's what I absolutely loved was my day. I would come in the afternoon because I would just work early, and I would get my coffee in the afternoon, and people just always smile and they're always happy, and it never made me feel bad in any sort of way. I always felt better, like no matter how bad my day was at work.
That is my goal.
Yes.
You saying those words makes me proud. I feel very happy about that because that is what we want to achieve here.
And that's what I find really only at Scooters. Every single person, you will not catch them on a bad day. That was always my experience here, is every person is always happy. Always.
It's all about our customers.
Mm-hmm.
And if we've done something wrong, let us know. We will make it right. Our number one goal is completely happy customers. Mm-hmm. That they have the experience that they expect when they come through here, that they get a smiling face and people are glad to see them, and they get their drinks very, very quickly and right.
Yeah. I don't think there was one time I had a drink made wrong. It was made hot instead of ice, and I felt so bad because I was in customer service for a long time, so I felt so bad. I was like, I'm sorry, but this is, she was like, oh my gosh, no, I'm so sorry.
Absolutely.
Let me fix that immediately for you. And she just made me not feel bad. Because
we want to fix that.
Yeah.
That's a difference. We want that.
It was an immediate fix, just like that. And she was so happy to do it. And it was wonderful.
Every employee in our store knows that they have the power to fix a problem.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to ask anybody. They are empowered to solve a problem right then and there.
And I think that helps a lot too, because you're not afraid to do something for a customer because you don't want lashback from your boss.
Exactly.
You're like, I want to make this person happy, but I don't want to get in trouble doing it. There's no fear of that here.
Absolutely.
And so it shows. So we have a lot of people who watch these videos that are entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs. And a question for you, being one of those people who it was an aspiring entrepreneur, now you are an entrepreneur who owns 2 successful businesses within the community. What is, and I'm sure there's been a lot of hard things to come over, hard things to do. What is one thing that really kind of set it out that was difficult for you? Opening the business, what would you say to other entrepreneurs? What's something to kind of expect, the hardships to kind of expect? Because we'll get to the good here in a minute, but what's something real? What's something you truly had to go through that you maybe didn't expect?
And I didn't, because I have never worked one day in any kind of food service.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in corporate America doing something totally different my entire life. So this was a huge step for me because I have no background in this at all.
Mm-hmm.
We probably had 2 big things. One was as soon as I signed on the line to borrow the money, COVID hit and shut the country down.
Oh, that's horrific.
And that was an incredibly tense time for me because I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? We can't get the buildings built, and the interest payments don't stop, you know? So we were able to push through that and tackle that. And kind of the other thing that I learned is go big or go home.
Mm-hmm.
It's expensive to get into a business and run a business, but you've got to be 100% committed. Mm-hmm. So you kind of have to get past that mindset of dollar by dollar and just say, this is what we need to do. to be successful and to take care of our customers, and you just commit to it.
And it works.
And
obviously,
it works.
You're either 2 feet in or you're 2 feet out the door. There's no half in it.
No,
So,
it'll show.
Yeah.
If you're not that committed, and I mean, it's everything from, we have coffee equipment that costs $16,000, $20,000 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but you've got to be committed to the best, and to deliver the best. I guess.
You got to be committed to the best to deliver the best.
Yep.
That's so true. So now on the other side of it, was there a wow moment? Have there been multiple besides just seeing the continuous happiness in your customers and people coming back? Is there something besides that made you really say, this is absolutely it? I know what I'm supposed to be doing. No matter everything I've gone through, I know this is it. Was there a moment for you that really sparked it?
Several.
Okay.
The first, and I'll kind of back up on that because there was another kind of unwow moment. Mm-hmm. When I first decided to go scooters, I had this vision in my head that, okay, well, I'm going to be at the window talking to my customers and serving them coffee and handing it out. And when I went down to train in a store, mm-hmm. and I realized that is nothing like what the real business is about, mm-hmm. because it is incredibly thousands and thousands of drink options, right? Fast paced during rushes. I went down with my first training and I was like deer in the headlights. I said, oh my gosh, what have I gotten myself into? Fortunately, you get folks like my manager, Shai, and that subsides. Mm-hmm. And you're like, okay, we got this. This is the pace of business. We can master it. And we did.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And I mean, I can attest to having an employee who not only can be that manager type of person, but can also step in and not just be a manager, but also help make the drinks, help do anything and everything, or an owner who can help do anything and everything, makes a world of difference. I mean, some of the best people I've ever worked for weren't afraid to get their feet dirty. They're bussing tables, they're running the dish in the back, they're doing everything.
I will tell you up front, I'm not smart enough to be a barista. I'll plain flat tell you.
Me neither.
I am not smart enough to be a barista.
Yeah.
But I will scrub floors. I will do anything I can, including cook. But I tell you, I'm just not smart enough.
You got to have a knack for it.
You've got to be able to remember a lot. And as I get older, my memory is not as sharp as it once was.
Yeah.
So and they also will agree, stay out of the barista station. So I follow their wishes and try to keep my distance there.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's an art to it as well.
Absolutely.
Because you're not only remembering everything, but you're making it look beautiful. You're making it taste right. Because, too much of something can really make a drink sour or too sweet. So there's a true artistry behind making someone's drink that starts or ends their day. So.
We have precise recipes, mm-hmm. which is one of the things that Scooters brings. But customers can order so many different variations of that. And these young baristas, they get in and they learn those things. Mm-hmm. And when you see them take an order for literally anything, and produce that right out the window that quickly, it amazes me. It scares me.
Yeah,
because I know I can't do it.
Oh, witchcraft! Gotta watch out for them.
Now you'll find me out here talking to customers in the line. Mm-hmm. I'm out pulling weeds every day. I'm out planting plants in the potters and. Taking care of all of those things to engage with the customers because mm-hmm. I love being outside, and I love it because I can't step outside this door, but a customer doesn't tell me you have amazing staff.
Absolutely you do. Absolutely you do. And I can attest to creating all kinds of different things because I can't tell you the amount of times I've come through the Scooters drive-through and I've been like, can you make a Butterfinger coffee? Or can you, I like had this candy thing for a while. And the lady, she was like, we can make any candy you want. I was like,
candy bar.
Twix? And she's like, oh yeah. And I said, no kidding. And so I swear to God, it tasted like Twix. I was mind blown. So yes, they can put together anything. So to take us back a little bit, now tell us some of the good things of owning a business, your wow moments. What created that for you?
The best thing about owning a business is truly just engaging in our community. Mm-hmm. We are out in the schools, we're at the police department, fire stations, mm-hmm. nursing home next door. I love being out there and getting our name out there mm-hmm. and our products out there. And I'm proud of it. I'm absolutely proud of what we do here. Mm-hmm. And that's probably the funnest part of owning it. Other than, like I said, standing here in the line, handing out birthday cake bites or samples or just doing things to continue to, drive the business and show our customers kind of new drinks to taste and things like that.
And there really is truly no better feeling than, like, as myself, being a baker. When someone comes and they tell me that's the best thing I've ever had, the feeling you get, and I'm sure you probably get the exact same feeling when people come to you about your business, and you're just like, this makes me feel so powerful and amazing as a person, that I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm sure you have plenty of those type of moments between your customers, your employees, the business itself, always thriving.
Well, it's what you get back. I said I am a servant at heart, and I love serving people. And that feedback just feeds that. It just continues to feed it.
Yeah, makes you want to do it even more.
It does.
So do you ever see yourself opening up any more locations?
I do. We really are kind of planning on 3 to 5.
Okay.
But the environment right now is really not great for that investment at the moment. So we have to be financially smart as well.
Yeah.
But yes, we do have plans on more locations.
Can you kind of tease another town that you kind of want to attack?
I can't.
Oh, man, tried to get it. Okay, no, that's fair. I understand that.
I don't want to give away any secrets to somebody who might be thinking about it.
Yeah, don't want somebody
just know that we own Raymore. Stay away.
That's what. Yeah, they do own Raymore. I can absolutely agree with that one. So, share with us family. I'm sure you did mention to me that you have kids. Where does running and starting something completely new for you, going from corporate America to being an entrepreneur, and small businesses, no matter whether it's a franchise or something you created from the ground up, are hard. So where does making time for your family, your kids, your wife, where being a dad, are you a grandpa?
I am.
Okay, see, that's another thing. Where do you incorporate all of that into your life of owning 2 very successful locations?
The beauty is that I have great people. If I did not have great people, the workload would probably be more than I want at this point in my life. But with the managers that I have, I'm comfortable leaving on vacation. I'm comfortable being away from the stores. I just have a part of the business, which is the back office stuff, that I have to make sure I maintain to make sure that my employees are taken care of and everything is covered, and that our business is following all of the rules that it needs to follow. So right now, I have 3 grandkids, just a new one 6 months ago.
Oh, congratulations.
And they live right down the street from us.
That's
and
wonderful.
I have a very good balance between work and home. But I always need to address anything that needs to be done at the stores, because people rely on that. If something's down with a piece of equipment, I have to be here to get that fixed, because it affects everybody in the store and frustrates them. And mainly it affects our customers. So, those are the kind of things you're kind of always on call.
Is this going to be a family business? Do you see your kids kind of coming in after you, or maybe stepping into the entrepreneurship world themselves?
One of the things, the beauties of like Scooter being privately held, is one of the philosophies of Scooters is building generational wealth. Is that you start the stores, you build the stores, you grow them, and then you've got something to hand down to your kids that's really tangible. There's a lot of things we could do in the future. I really have kind of this vision of my managers maybe owning the stores one day.
Oh, that's fun.
So it's a possibility there.
Yeah.
It's a possibility that we keep it in the business if my kids want to take something like that over. I really just haven't gone too far down that road yet, because I'm having too much fun. I am having more fun than I've ever had in my life.
There's
slinging
something
coffee.
to it. Yeah, there's something to it.
There is. It's just making people happy and slinging coffee. And yeah, some of it's hard and some of it's just a fun.
Yeah. So kind of talking about coffee, so you mentioned that you fell into loving coffee. Was there something that made you just really go for the coffee? Or besides, just choosing who you were going to own a franchise with, but like coffee, what made you choose coffee?
Well, that's interesting, because when you start, if you do research, which I did, and you start talking about franchises, the first rule they tell you is don't make a decision before you've looked at all of the options. I did just the opposite. I kind of had decided, I think coffee would be the right business.
Yeah.
And I did research on it, and then I kind of aligned it with things I wanted to do. I didn't want to have anything to do with any kind of fryers or grills or anything complicated like that. Coffee is a great business because you get in and it smells good all day long, and you leave smelling like coffee versus like anything else.
Tastes great too.
You could keep the hours reasonable.
Yeah.
Plus coffee, people love coffee.
Yes.
It makes them happy.
Yes.
People come through just like me. I'm a snob now. I'll admit it. I cannot brew coffee at home.
Yeah.
I've tried it all. I've tried the pods, the home brewer. When you get a cup of our brewed coffee with our beans from our single source, freshly ground minutes before it's brewed, brewed on professional brewers with purified water that's designed for coffee, you can't duplicate that. So I have to come every single morning to my own coffee shop and get my coffee.
You're your best customer.
And some days I just don't want to go out. You know, it's like, I don't want to get out in the morning, but I'll be thinking about my cup of coffee the night before.
Yes.
And this is going to shock you. I have never drank coffee in my life.
Before owning the business?
Before owning Scooters.
Wow.
Now, my family's a military family. So we grew up, I mean, my family would brew coffee by the barrel. And I've always loved the smell of the coffee. But I would drink it, and I'm like, oh, who drinks this? It's bitter. So when I started looking around, I decided coffee was it. I started trying coffee. And let me tell you, the surprise to me, you talk about a surprise in businesses, the coffee of today is not my father's coffee. You can get a black cup of coffee, a stout black cup of coffee. But today, we have roasted flavors of coffees, and you can get all kinds of flavorings in them. And it just gives you such a world of options. Everybody can find a coffee that they like today.
That is so very true. With all the flavors, everything's a flavor. I mean, literally everything's a flavor. So take us into, what's your favorite coffee? Are you more of a black coffee? Do you like the fruitier stuff?
I don't. I like it all. First of all, I like it all. That's my problem. I put on 15 pounds since I opened up Scooters because I like it all.
Yeah.
But, you know, we have lots of sugar-free options, lots of different things, but I've had to, like, try everything and, you know, just kind of, you know, do it all.
Yeah.
But we make roasted flavored coffee. So there's no flavorings added to it. It's roasted into the beans. And I love our flavored coffees. So I'll come in every morning and get the flavor of the day because it changes every day.
Oh.
And I will just get the flavor of the day with a little bit of cream, a little bit of sweet and low. It's a perfect drink for me. And our Scooter blend, which is our standard, is phenomenal flavor. Absolutely. It's one of the reasons. It's one of the best coffees I've ever had in my life. We recently went to Italy to kind of study coffees because that's the home of coffee. Yeah. I have been to Egypt.
Oh, wow.
Been to the first coffee cafe in the world, in the known world. And had coffee there. I've been to Italy, tried coffee at every place in Italy. We'll compare any day of the week. They do a great job, and we do an excellent job as well.
Love it. Love it. Okay, so to kind of wrap us up, can you share a fun fact that people maybe don't know about yourself or Scooters? You know, what's something you would like the world to know a little bit more about your brand, or maybe what you stand for within your brand, or Scooters as a company stands for? What's something fun about Scooters that people don't know?
Well, let's see. Scooters is a fun brand.
Yes.
And our smiley is a kind of our secondary logo. I would probably kind of go back to something I said earlier, and that was, I talk to people and they say, I don't like coffee. Try coffee today. There is a different world out there, folks. There is a coffee product for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. There is.
Absolutely.
Even my partner who hates coffee has his one flavor he can do.
Send him up here. We'll find something he likes.
I will. Absolutely.
And we have converted so many people.
Yeah.
Because we have a process. You know, we have a sign up front that says, scan, let us know if you've had a problem with your drink or how well we're doing or what we need to do better. And we'll get people that say, it's not just exactly what I want. We will invite them to come up. Let's make you different coffees, and let's find the perfect coffee for you. And we want them for life.
And that's top tier service.
That's just part of our service.
That's just part of who Scooters is and who you are as a person and everything.
It is. It's just serving people. I just love it when they're happy with what we produce.
And that's how you know you're doing the right thing. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You had a dream that you always want to be an entrepreneur, and something got you into coffee, and here you are.
Yep.
2 very successul locations.
It's been a long road. Like I said, going into this at 60 was a little scary.
Yeah.
It was a little scary. But I've never looked back, and I'm as happy as I've ever been in my life. So
that's the goal in life. just be happy. None of us want to just go to work.
No.
We all want to be happy, and finding that is rare. So,
and that's what we choose to. We tell our baristas that, you choose your day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I wake up every morning just like everybody else, and I choose to be happy. Mm-hmm. I choose to enjoy what I'm doing, and I do enjoy what I'm doing. And it's just part of the culture we try to instill in the store. We do everything we can to keep people happy and positive, and dancing and singing and just being a great place to be.
Yeah. I mean, at Scooters.
And we know it shows at the window.
It does. Absolutely it does. If you haven't given Scooters a try, highly, highly, highly recommend either the Belton location, the Raymore location. Those are the two best ones around here because they're owned by this wonderful man and his wife, and they have a great team. I've met some of these ladies. They're wonderful.
This is why we're so wonderful.
Come in here. Come in the shop. Shy. Just stand here and wave hi to everybody.
I would not be successful if it were not for people like Shy.
Yeah.
She came in with the experience I needed to just get us going out of the chute. Mm-hmm. And day one we opened and the line was clear around to the car wash, not only was I in terror and panic, but I was so thankful and happy.
Yeah.
So, and it hasn't stopped.
A great manager makes a world of difference. You can have a great owner and a great staff, but a manager can ruin it.
It always comes down. You get bad service somewhere, go to the manager because that's the problem. It's not the people, it's the management, it's the leadership.
Yeah, I was in the service industry for over 7 years. I could absolutely attest that.
They don't have a clear understanding of what it is that you offer and how you treat your customers. We make sure that is a crystal clear understanding that our customers are everything to us.
It starts at the top. The top is always the customers. And then it comes the owner and the manager. But the top is always the customers because they can either make or break you.
Yes.
And people will come back even with bad service just because they love it. But having someone like that can really change the world.
I am thankful every day for my people.
Yeah.
Because they have accomplished this.
Yeah.
I was putting the driving force behind it, but they do the work to accomplish this. They take care of our customers.
Well, we always appreciate wonderful service, and it really does make a difference in people's day. Going to work, whether it was a bad day or a good day, that smile at the window, the little notes on the top. I love those. I love that you guys have really rolled with that, and they're not basic. I will say some of the ones I've got, I will share this story myself. I know we've got trucks moving over here, but I was dropping off my daughter with a friend for her to watch for a day. And I stopped at the Belton Scooters and I got us both coffee. And they had written adorable, little notes on the top. And on her coffee, they wrote, "You do matter." And I took that to her and I didn't know that she was having a horrible day. I showed her that and I pointed to the top to let her know, hey, you do matter. I swear to you, she broke down in my arms. She's like, you have no idea what that just did for me. So literally goosebumps right now talking about it.
What's amazing is that wasn't my idea. It wasn't Scooter's idea. I don't know where it came from, but our baristas started doing that when we opened the store. Yeah. And we've kept it up ever since.
It makes a difference.
I believe so.
Yeah. I saw that and I actually wanted to reach out to Scooters that day. I wanted to call, but I didn't know if they took phone calls. Just let that person know at the window, like, whoever wrote on that cup just changed her day. And I know just the world put that in front of her, and the person that wrote that, I mean, it really just, she was having a crappy morning and just, you matter, changed everything for her.
We always looking for ways to delight our customers. We'll see people who seem sad or something, and if they want to kind of open up to us a little bit, we will do something special for them to try and improve their day. And it's just one of the things that our baristas do on their own. They have the authority to do that, to make someone's day. So
and they do. Absolutely.
They make those decisions.
I will never forget that. So keep doing
thank you
what
so
you're doing.
much for the interview. We really appreciate you coming out and talking with us.
Hopefully it opens up other people's minds, but it opens up mine too to what franchises really more are. And I'm sure they're all kind of different, but Scooters, a lot of people, just from who I've talked to and, gotten to know over the years, a lot of people think a franchise is just like any other big business. You got this big corporate person coming in with a lot of money. They know what they're doing. A franchise isn't a small business owned, but it really is. It's people like you who have lived in this community.
We are very much a small business.
Yes. And so it opens up my eyes, and I'm sure it'll open up the people's eyes who watch this. And hopefully it teaches them that this isn't a big corporate thing. No. It's a man and his wife and his family with an amazing manager and staff who put everything into this to make it what it is for their community. You live here.
Yes.
That's such a big difference, is you know your community, you're with it, you're here.
I could have picked higher traffic spots
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
I didn't want that.
Yeah.
I wanted a business in my hometown.
Mhm.
And
You make a difference.
that's where we are.
Yeah.
And you're right. There's not one penny of any corporate money in either of my businesses.
Yeah. It's all your retirement
Not
fund.
1 cent.
This better work, because
This
it's all
better
I
work.
got.
I tell my baristas, I'm going to live in a cardboard box if we're not successful. So everybody, make sure you're
We need
pitching
to
and
make
doing
it
your
work.
best.
Yes, I love it. Well, keep doing what you're doing. We notice it. I mean, you guys are busy, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I still see, driving by, you guys are busy. People get coffee because they want to come here. They want to see you guys.
Well, we have so much more than coffee, and that's the word
That's
that's
true.
hard to get out.
Mhm.
And when we're working at every day, we'll attend festivals and we'll hand out blenders, which are kind of like milkshakes or our infusions
Mhm.
or our smoothies. We have wonderful fruit smoothies.
I've had the strawberry one, I believe it was, and it was phenomenal.
People just
really
sometimes
good.
don't understand the breadth
Yeah.
of products here until they come in.
Yeah. So, kind of really quick before we end it, for those wondering, what do you have? What do you have?
Well, not only do we have awesome breakfast items, our
I can attest to that.
yes, our everything bagels and
Yes.
waffle sandwiches. People just
Oh
take,
yeah.
they just
My
they
friend
go
loves
after
those waffle sandwiches.
Absolutely, I do too. And our new omelet bites are wonderful. But we have everything from a basic fruit and ice, which if you want something simple, it's fruit puree and ice. There's
Mhm.
no added sugars or anything to that. Next
really
step
cool.
up would be our fruit smoothies. Have a
Mhm.
variety of fruit smoothies that we do things like duos and mixed fruits, different things in those. And then we move on to our like blended coffee-based drinks, which are based with espresso,
Mhm.
all the way up to simple coffee. And something that people should know, $1. That's all we charge for a cup of perfect coffee.
Really?
All day, every day, $1.
I did not know that.
That's cheaper than McDonald's.
Absolutely.
Cheaper than Quick. You can't do it at home with a K-cup for $1.
No.
And we start there
Wow.
and go all the way to these other drinks.
A cup of coffee is $1.
$1. Every day, all day, every day.
Wow.
And that's a message we really need to kind of get out there a little
Yeah.
more.
I had no idea.
Well, that's what I get every morning, my $1 cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And it's, like I said, it's delicious. I can't brew it at home anymore.
Huh. I had no idea. Well, thank you for sharing that. I did not know that was $1.
It's $1.
You know how hard of a time you can be in and still have your coffee because you can
Absolutely.
scrape together 4 quarters and go get a
And
coffee.
then we've got this little our donuts. If you haven't tried our little mini donuts.
I have. Those
Donuts
things
and
have
a
saved my
coffee,
day sometimes.
$2
Yes.
every day of the week.
Those have been my breakfast for times that I've fallen really short in life, and I'm just like, I need something that I can eat today before I go to work, and I come to Scooters and I get those little donuts because they are literally $1.
If I show up at my grandkids without donuts,
Oh no.
I'm in trouble because unfortunately they love them and they're kind of hooked on the donuts.
Yeah.
So
I don't blame them because they're really good, and they're better than Quick Trip. Don't tell them I said
yes,
that, but
they're absolutely delicious.
yes.
And our menu is always changing. With our limited time drinks, they'll
Mhm.
come for a few months at a time.
Mhm.
We've got a new summer lineup coming that is, oh my gosh, they're delicious. I can't wait till they get here.
Can you tease them?
Sure.
Okay. What is it?
Shai, what are the names of them?
The new infusions: Strawberry Horizon, Peach Wave, Apocalypse, Aquamarine, and that's it. And we're getting Sparkler soon. We're getting
What's the
spiders,
orange one with the ice cream?
Orange Float when we're getting with
Orange
our
Float, oh.
Sparklers.
So, orange. Just in case I couldn't hear you from the mic. So, an aquamarine, apocalypse,
Strawberry Horizon,
Horizon,
Peach Wave,
peach wave,
and then we're getting Sparklers at the end of the midsummer.
and you're getting
Like
sparklers.
sparkling water kind of drinks, and you can mix it with our flavors. And
Okay.
It's like an orange kind of cream sickle float type of deal. Getting some new food items. And
New food items. Yeah.
So we're kind of focused on that afternoon business.
Yeah,
those
absolutely.
summer drinks that,
That's the
that
kind
are
of person
not
I am.
coffee based.
Mhm.
And we just tested them out in Omaha, and I cannot wait because they are absolutely delicious.
They sound phenomenal.
I guarantee it.
I'm gonna be stopping here. I promise you, I will be stopping here because I get my daughter right there
Awesome,
every single
awesome.
day, and I always wish I had something to drink with me.
And we have extra large blenders now too.
Extra large
As of
blenders.
Today. Yep.
And so, what difference does an extra large blender make?
So it's 32 ounces.
Uh-huh.
And you could do any of the flavors that you were getting before, from small through large. So if large wasn't big enough, then
They have
They got
extra large
bigger.
sizes now. Extra large. I'm that kind of person. Sometimes a Friday or a
There's
Monday
a lot
hits
of
right.
people that are, and boy, they will pour the espressos into that too.
Oh,
We
love
have
it.
some people. How many shots will some people get?
people got up to 12, 13 shots.
12 or
Holy
13
smokes.
shots is what you've seen?
Yeah.
I won't
Not
judge.
many of them. Not many of them. That's not for the timid.
No, goodness. I think 4 for me is like pushing the limit a little bit. Okay. I might have to try 12 shots one day.
Well, like I said, it's up to us to delight you. You come here and we haven't performed. Like I just want to know about it.
Yeah.
And it's one thing if you just say, "All right, it's not the taste for me."
Mhm.
That's fine.
Mhm.
But if you're not satisfied with your drink, we'll always take care of that. Always.
Yeah. And there was literally only one time it ever happened. She fixed it immediately.
We have people
So.
that get a drink and say, "I just don't like this."
Mhm.
Fine, we'll make you something else. Let's see if something you do like.
Well, that's really nice because sometimes, like, I've had that, you order something before and you're like, oh, and then you're like, oh, I'm stuck with this.
Yeah, you're not here.
Not here. Not here. So try something. Try their new summer drinks. Try something fun. And if you don't like it, they'll change it for you. You just heard him. The owner himself just said they will switch it out. I mean, you don't really
We
get
are
much
here
better.
to delight you.
Here to delight you.
The goal number one is happy customers.
Mhm.
Beyond money, beyond everything else,
Mhm.
my goal is completely happy, satisfied customers. Everything else will come after that.
Yeah.
And it'll take care of itself.
Oh, absolutely. Customers, like I said earlier, make or break you.
Yep.
Customers will make or break you. And then having a good name within, because things spread by mouth. So if somebody loves you, they're going to tell other people about it. And I have not heard ever anything, not one single bad comment about Scooters in Belton or Raymore.
Well, we're working to keep it that way.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you sitting down with us, telling us about who you are, who your company is, enlightening us a little bit more about what it kind of takes to run something so large but so small at the same time, because we are really a tight-knit community. Belton and Raymore, we're tight. So we might be like 2 different towns, but not really.
is.
It's kind of just one big city.
Well, but people say, why did you open in Belton? I live here, folks.
Yeah.
I know the highway is that nobody wants to cross the highway if
It's
they
a
don't have
mess.
to.
Yes.
You only know that
Yes.
when you live here.
Absolutely. It can be it can be 2 different towns sometimes when it comes to that rough highway there in the middle.
Scooters didn't want me to open in Belton. They said it's too close to your other store. I
Really?
said, take my word for it.
I will say I was surprised when I did see a Scooters in Belton open, because I was like, that is close. But then, you do think about that highway. And even though Belton and Raymore really kind of just one big town most of the time, that highway really can separate a lot of things.
It does.
And so when you're on your way to work in the morning, you're in a rush, you got to get coffee fast. People like me who live on the other side of Belton don't have time to come all the way out here. So the fact that that's easy to get to. It's not on a bad corner. That's not hard to get to. It's in and out and it's fast.
Our goal is always less than 60 seconds at the window.
Y'all are quick.
And we beat that.
Yeah. I have sat at other places for 10 minutes plus, and I have been almost late to work. Never once. I will absolutely test that. Never once have I been late to work coming to get a Scooters coffee.
I always get, the times I get excited and tense is when we've got a piece of equipment down
Oh, yeah.
and we sacrifice speed for our customers. Those are the things that upset me, that make me feel tense. It's failing our customer.
Because that's not what you do. That's not who you are.
No,
as a business.
but
That's not how you work.
sometimes,
It happens.
but we're on it. We're on it. I went and got trained to repair our coffee equipment so that we don't have to wait for repair service if our equipment goes down.
Oh, wow. Really
So
do it all.
I come in and do that so that we can get it up and running now,
yeah.
not tomorrow, not, next week.
You need to work with some restaurants on that for their systems when they shut down on a Saturday night.
No, thanks. I have enough just keeping ours
Let me
going.
tell you about that.
It's not something I anticipated doing when I opened the store.
Right.
But
You're ready. You're
it's
prepared.
Customer focused. Customer. What can we do to keep that customer's focus?
And obviously it works because they've been coming and going this entire interview, just watching them. So
I love it.
yes, well, thank you once again for sitting down, talking to us. Come on out, come visit his wonderful crew, whether it's Belton or Raymore. Wonderful new flavors coming this summer. I'm super excited. I will try every single one of them. And what are your hours?
5:30 in the morning till 8 o'clock at
I
night.
knew you guys were open late. I didn't know how late. 8 o'clock's really late.
There may be opportunity for 9 o'clock. We keep toying with that because we have so many drinks that are not coffee based. They're kind of like desserts. So, you know, we think there's an opportunity there as well.
I think there would be, because there's nowhere to really get a drink. I mean, I know a smoothie place that shuts down at like 5, 6 o'clock, and I'm like, oh, now I'm out of a drink, you know. And then McDonald's is McDonald's, but
It's a tough balance because we always think of our employees and our workforce in that too. They love not having to be here till 9 or 10 o'clock at night. So it's not always just about, can you sell more stuff?
Yeah.
It's about that hitting that sweet spot where everybody is on the same page and happy.
And that makes you different as an owner, because a lot of owners don't care about their employees. You're going to work, I'm going home. And you're like, no.
We care very much about everybody that comes through these doors.
And I will say you've held employees for quite a long time. That says something.
Well, and I'm proud of that. We have people who've been here since we opened, and just like my manager, who's now managing the other store. It was her first job in high school. And she came here and worked and then took over that store here about a year ago.
Yeah, there's opportunity for growth within your company.
There is.
And that's really amazing too.
We're a small company, but we're a landing spot, but there's certainly some opportunities with us. But, you know, what we're able to teach these young kids, I think is incredibly beneficial to them. What they learn here will carry them throughout their life. It's what I earned working in a small hardware store when I was 16 years old. I learned about creating relationships with people and taking care of them and giving them the best advice that I had, and just being able to kind of connect with people. And we'll teach them that here. We'll teach them about service. We'll teach them about the joy of serving people. We'll teach about integrity of doing a great job.
Because that follows you your entire life.
It does.
No matter where you
learn
go,
that early.
some way or another, you're always working for or with people.
Those messages I learned in a hardware store at 16 carried me through a Fortune 500 company 30 years later. Never lost sight of it.
It sticks with you, especially at a young age. Well, it's so much easier to teach somebody from the start up than it is to recreate a mindset. So
yes. Learn to care.
Yeah.
We teach people to care.
Compassion.
Yep.
Another part of what makes scooters really great is your scooter is really great, because
like I said, I'm just happy to be here and happy to be doing this.
Well, we're happy you're here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for speaking with us again today. And hopefully you can edit this and make me look somewhat intelligent at the end of the day.
I'm leaving that in there just so you know, because now we're going to close up. Well, thank you everybody so much for watching another Small Business Sunday. Come on out, visit this amazing crew, this amazing owner, whether you're in Belton or Raymore. Say hi. Let them know you'd like to try something new and refreshing. Come get a sweet treat, whether it's a breakfast donut or a sandwich, whatever it is. Come on out. Enjoy yourself. Not only wonderful service, but a wonderful refreshment. And we will see you all on next Small Business Sunday. Thank you.